Bismillah, Adaman, Adahim, which means in the name of God, the gracious, the merciful, the beneficent, the creator of the worlds, my Father God, Allah, Abba, the one to who praises forever do. Or I feel like I gotta lean up, feel like I'm always understood. Or I come to y'all in peace. Um, and blessing. I hope y'all enjoy y'all's day. Uh, Try to make the best out of y'all's day. Um, and keep on trying to learn. Um, and know that even in the day, sometimes it's going to be some. You can't escape what Jesus said. Jesus said in John chapter 16, verse 33, in this world, you're going to have trouble. Or take heart, for he overcome the world. But in him, you can have peace. Somewhere along those lines. Yeah. You know what I mean? But a lot of stuff, sometimes we'll get ourselves in the more trouble than like this one. But nevertheless, keep on applying yourselves, taking advantage of the time, making yourselves available, and having the right attitude. Um, and you'll do all right. All right. Always be learning. Like many people, if you don't know what to know, learn who you are and whose you are. Learn about your mistakes. People make mistakes. Learn not to repeat the same mistakes. You know what I mean? Pay attention. We're gonna dive on there for the sake of time, because knowing me, I keep on talking. 20 minutes will go by and I wouldn't even this and that. Alright. Go with me to we reading message to the black man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Alright. Page 54. Pick up. Got a little bit of time to mess with y'all. Page 54, the title say, a good name is better than gold. One of the first and most important truths that must be established in this day is our identity. One of the first and most important truths that must be established in this day is our identity. This is what our God, whose proper name is Allah, is guiding me to point out to you. My people, who are members of the lost and found nation in North America. You, my people, who have been robbed of your complete identity for over 400 years. It is not time for you to know who you are. Oh, is it not time for you to know who you are after 400 years of submission to the white slave masters of America and their false religion of Christianity? Our true God is not like the spook God of Christianity, who demands death for our salvation and redemption. He is offering us freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on this earth while we live. First, you must be given the names of your First, you must be given the names of your forefathers, whose names are the most holy and righteous names of Allah. Again, I repeat, that restoring to you your identity is one of the first and most important truths to be established by God Himself. All nations of the earth are recognized by the name by which they are called. By stating one's name, one is able to associate an entire order of a particular civilization simply by name alone. For example, if you take the name Lu Chan, we know immediately that this is a Chinese name whose land or origin is China, a country that operates on an independent basis and is recognized throughout the world as a nation and whose people demand respect. We know this and more from the name Lu Chen. If we search among the peoples and nations of the earth, we will discover that this is an established truth from country to country and from continent to continent. It is only when we come to America and learn the names that our people are now going by that we discover that a whole nation of 20 million black people are going by the names of white people. How can a so-called Negro say that his name is Sam Jones, a white man's name with roots in Europe, when Sam Jones, Blackman, comes from Africa or Asia? My poor, blind, deaf, and dumb people are going by the wrong names. And until you accept the truth of your true identity and accept the names of your people and nation, we will never be respected because of this alone. This is one of the reasons Almighty Allah has come among us, that is, to give us His names, the most holy and righteous names of the planet Earth. It is Allah who gave me my name, Muhammad. From this name alone, our open enemies, the white race, know that the true and living God has come into our midst and is doing a divine work among the so-called Negroes of America. The white man knows that Islam was our religion, our civilization, and our way of life before he made us blind, deaf, and dumb to this knowledge. It has never been the white man's intention to restore to us this knowledge. Now that he sees his formerly dead ex-slaves returning to their own religion, Islam, and worshiping their own God, Allah, and awakening to the truth of their true identity, he knows that God alone is bringing this change about. The white race knows and admits that it is only a matter of time when all the truth will be accepted by our people. To his deepest regret, I warn you, my people, discard your former slave masters' names and be willing and ready to accept one of Allah's pure and righteous names that He alone will give our people from His own mouth. A good name is indeed better than gold. I am not but a warner and a messenger to you, my people. Not self-sent, but sent directly from Almighty God, Allah. I like that. Oh, they go back right there, though. Help self, what must be done with the Negroes, is what the title says. Page 56. Help self, what must be done with the Negroes. Since our being brought in chains to the shores of America, our brain power, labor, skills, talent, and wealth have been taken, given, and spent toward building and adding to the civilization of another people. It is time for you and me, the so-called Negroes, to start doing for ourselves. We must not let our children be as we are, beggars of another man for his home, facilities, clothing, food, and the means of providing a living. Man depends on land for necessities, food, clothing, and shelter for survival. A prime requisite for freedom and independence is having one's own land. There can be no freedom without a people having their own land. The acquisition of land has been a factor for more wars than any other cause. Economists agree that in order for any type of nation or system, capitalism or communism or communism, democracy or totalitarian or what have you to exist, or what have you to exist and have a degree of independence, there must be ownership of land. The so-called Negroes are without a state they can call their own. We have nothing to show for our more than 310 years of forced slave labor and more than 100 years of our free servitude to our slave masters' children. We were brought here to work. We have worked. We are still workers, some of us say. What will we do if we do not work for the white man? How will we live? I say, when you are free and independent, you have a job. You have a tremendous task. You have a tremendous task of doing something for self. You have the job of building a civilization for yourself as others free and independent people are doing for themselves. As a people, we must become producers and not remain consumers and employees. We must be able to extract raw materials from the earth and manufacture them into something useful for ourselves. This will create jobs and production. We must remember that without land, there is no production. The surplus of what we shall, the surplus of what we produce, we would sell. This would develop a field of commerce and trade as other free and independent people whose population is less than that of 20 million so-called Negroes who are dependent in America. We must begin, my lips chapped. We must begin with putting on some chapstick. The second thing we must do is take a sip of this juice with lemon in it. The reason why my junk super dried up, eating lemons and stuff, bro, trying to dry you up. But they good for you. I'm talking about like how your junk chapped a little bit, not dry, but alright. Alright, that lemon juice, bang bang. Sounds good for you. Alright. We must begin at the cradle and teach our babies that they must do something for self. That's I be on the young people, man. Why, especially if you're like 10 years younger than me. I'm 31, so if I'm 31, you 21. If you're 21, you want to catch them 10 years younger than you when they 11. That's when you want to catch them and install in them. You know what I mean? Like, word. Even a lot of people who kind of intelligent, you see the programs that they have the babies on, like what's them little programs they be having kids be doing, like little children be on the little computer programs, math programs, all type of programs. They be like having kids like learn really, really fast. You know what I mean? Versus just some of y'all just put the kids in front of a TV, let them watch anything. It ain't educational. You know what I mean? Like it ain't. You know what I mean? They be watching some bull crap. Or the little kids know how to work the phones. They be on all type of stuff. Be a whole bunch of wild calculators. How the heck they know how to work this junk and be on what they be on? Crazy. But we must begin at the cradle and teach our babies that they must do something for self. They must not be like we, their fathers who looked to the slave masters and slave master children for all. We must teach our children now with an enthusiasm exceeding that which our slave masters used in having our forefathers embed the seed of dependency within us. We must stop the process of giving our brain power, labor, and wealth to our slave masters' children. We must eliminate the slave master's relationship. We must educate ourselves and our children into the rich power of knowledge, which has elevated every people who have sought and used it. We must give the benefit of our knowledge to the elevation of our own people. Presently, in this country, and almost all of the major universities and colleges, there are thousands of young students from Africa and Asia. Yet, as young, primitive, and backward as we say these countries of Africa and Asia might be, their students here are returning to their shores. Their intent and purpose is to give their people the benefit of their learning. All civilized people give the benefit of their knowledge, skill, and wealth to their own people. Those who do not are called traitors, defectors, spies, tools, and Toms. Why should we spend 12 and 16 years seeking an education only to give the benefit of our knowledge back to the one we sought it from? It is time for us to wake up. Why should we work to give the meager earnings of our labor back to our slave masters' children? Why can't we have our own? Why should we? Why can't we have our own? Why can't we do for our own? Why can't we learn to spend with and support our own? Why can't we strive toward keeping our brain power, labor, and wealth within and among and elevating our own? We must have that which will make us want to do for ourselves as other people want to do for themselves. You ask, how can this be done? The so-called Negroes must be taught and given Islam. Why Islam? Islam because it teaches first the knowledge of self. It gives us the knowledge of our own. Then and only then are we able to understand that which surrounds us. Know thyself is the doctrine Socrates espoused, and this is the base of the educational system in America. The religion of Islam makes the so-called Negroes think in terms of self and their own kind. Thus, the kind of thinking produces an industrious people who are self-independent. Islam is actually our religion by nature. Allah is the proper name for God. Islam is not a European organized white man's religion. It is time for the so-called Negroes to help their own kind and be benefited by Islam. The Black Woman is what the title says. The Black Woman. The woman is man's field to produce his nation. If he does not keep the enemy out of his field, he won't produce a good nation. If we love our vegetable crops, we will go out and turn up the leaves on that vegetable stalk and look carefully for worms that are eating and destroying our vegetables. The vegetables. We will kill that worm, right? Again, we will go out into the cotton field. Again, we will go out into the cotton field and look for the enemies of our cotton and try to kill that enemy. We study poisons and chemicals of the earth, and we pour these chemicals on the enemies of our crops to keep the enemies from destroying them. We love a crop that we can produce every year, every season. So so well that we will kill every enemy that we find seeking to destroy it. We will even kill one another if we find the other one out there trying to steal that crop. Is not your woman more valuable than that crop of corn, that crop of cotton, that crop of cabbage, potatoes, beans, tomatoes? How much more valuable is your woman than these crops that you should keep the enemies from destroying the crops? Yet, you are not careful about your woman. You don't love them. Why? It is because you have allowed visitors to run in and out of your house. Thus, they have destroyed your love for your woman, and your woman has not the love for you that she should. That is a good sign. Uh, until we learn to love and protect our women, we will never be a fit and recognized people on the earth. The white people here among you will never recognize you until you protect your woman. The brown man will never recognize you until you protect your woman. The yellow man will never recognize you until you protect your woman. The white man will never recognize you until you protect your woman. To you, oh, you and I may go to Harvard, or we may go to York of England, or to Al as Cesar in Chiro and get degrees from all of these great seats of learning, but we will never be recognized until we recognize our women. On visiting with a couple of my sons in what they call the Near East in 1959, I began in Turkey. We traveled from Turkey down to Africa, to Ethiopia, and to Sudan, and the Sudan. We visited Arabia, Mecca, and Medina, and we visited Pakistan. We returned home from Lahore, Pakistan, on about the 6th of January, 1960. We didn't even find on that entire tour such a thing as not recognizing the black woman. Everywhere we went, the black man recognized his woman. He had great respect for her. We dined in many of the top, as you say in slang, homes. We dined with some of the most influential people of these countries, government people, and some of their homes. We never did see any of their family, only men. The waiter was a man or boy, not any woman. My beloved brothers in America, you have lost the respect for your woman, and therefore you have lost the respect for yourself. You won't protect her, therefore you can't protect yourself. She is your first nurse. She is your teacher. Your first lesson comes from your mother. If you don't protect your mother, how do you think you look in the eyes of other fellow human beings? Protect and elevate your woman is what the title said. That's fair. All right. Allah Himself has said that we cannot return to our land until we have a thorough knowledge of our own selves. This first step is the control and the protection of our own women. There is no nation on earth, there is no nation on earth that has less respect for and as little control of their women as we so-called Negroes here in America. Even animals and beasts, the fowls of the air, have more love and respect uh, for their females than have the so-called Negroes of America. Our women are allowed to walk or ride the streets all night long with any strange man they desire. They are allowed to frequent. They are allowed to frequent any tavern or dance hall that they like. Whenever they like, they are allowed to fill our homes with children other other than our own. Children that are often fathered by the very devil himself. Then, when the devil man decides to marry her, the so-called Negro press and magazines will make it front page news. The daily press will not print a so-called Negro man marrying into their race, but you seem to think it is an honor to your own nation when your daughter goes over to your enemies, the devils. Our women have been and are still being used by the devil, white race. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says. Ever since we were first brought here to these states as slaves, they cannot go without being winked at, whistled at, yelled at, slapped, patted, kicked, and driven around in the streets by your devil enemies under your nose. Yet you do nothing about it, nor do you even protest. You cannot control or protect your woman as long as you are in the white man's false religion called Christianity. This religion of theirs gives you no desire or power to resist them. The only way in place to solve this problem is in the religion of Islam. It is a pleasure to Allah to defend us from our enemies in the religion. Uh, it is a pleasure to Allah to defend us from our enemies. In the religion of Christianity, the white man's race has had us worshiping and praying to something that actually did not even exist. Islam will not only elevate your woman, but will also give you the power to control and protect them. We protect ours against all their enemies. We protect ours against all their enemies. We protect our farms by pulling up our weeds and grass by the roots, by killing animals and birds and poisoning the insects that destroy our crops in order that we may produce a good crop. How much more valuable are our women, who are our fields, through whom we produce our nation? The white race does not want us to destroy their race by intermarrying with them. They will even kill you to protect their women. Can you blame them? No. Blame your foolish self for not having enough respect for your own self and your own nation to do likewise. Stop our women from trying to look like them by bleaching, powdering, ironing, and clothing their hair, painting their lips, cheeks, and eyebrows, wearing shorts, going half nude in public places, going swimming with them, and lying on beaches with men. Have private pools for your women and guard them from all men. Stop them from going into bars and taverns and sitting and drinking with men and strangers. Stop them from sitting in those places with anyone. Stop them from using unclean language in public and at home, from smoking and drug addiction habits. Nothing but Islam will make you a respectable people. We Muslims are your example living here in your midst. There is no delinquency in Islam. Are you with us to put our people on top of the world? The so-called Negro must do something for himself, is what the title say. What? I still got seeds in this junk. I don't think I used all that juice. I think I got some more in the junk. Or I ain't got no candy, no nothing. I think I got some apples, but I want no freaking apples. My boy, they good for you, my boy. They do need a sugar rush sometime. Just a little bit. I can't even get this junk up enough. I got lemons. I got them seeds and stuff. And lemon's good though. Alright. Yeah, right. Well, good thing. I was gonna blend them out. I was gonna blend it up, but I didn't want to blend the seeds. I tried to squeeze all of them out earlier, but I ain't had time to pick through all of them. I just squeezed as much out as I could and picked them out with a spoon. And I go by the rest how they go. The so-called Negro must do something for himself. Excuse me. In unity, we can accomplish much. In unity, we can accomplish much. Think of the 20 million of you and my kind putting $1 a year aside for ourselves and the treasury toward the day of want. Suppose we laid aside $1 every month against the day of want. Look at the millions that we could build up for ourselves within a few years. Man, that's fair. If each and every single last one of us put $1 to the side, we are all instantly millionaires. Bro, if each one of us all put $1 to the side, all of us are instantly millionaires. We can put tens of millions in the bank, go to the bank, borrow that money right out. Bro, just $1. There's people on the street who homeless who got $1. We are all instantly millionaires. We can buy homes instantly. We can instantly flip the tables if we came together. Instantly. My boy, if we all was to come together by tomorrow, it would be a different place. Instantly. Everyone give me $1. And all we need is make sure we give it to someone who ain't gonna do no wild stuff. Bro. We homeless, boom. We're gonna buy this junk right here. This will fit. Boom, for this junk. Everywhere we go, for hundreds of thousands of people, we can take homeless off the street, do a whole bunch of stuff. Instantly, all dudes come together. Just $1. In every little setting, everywhere setting, place you at, it's 50 states in America. And the states, how many towns and stuff it is? It's like I'm in Lynchburg, it's in Virginia. It's many cities. I mean, how many cities I don't know, but within those cities, I'm quite sure it's hundreds of thousands of people. You know what I mean? All y'all put in $1. Boom, immediately, boom, all y'all 100,000 is off of $1. And you ain't got to sell, kill, rob, no nothing. Just put in $1. Make sure you got one person there who you can trust. Boom, off of that $1, all of y'all. Boom, now y'all can off of that. Who homeless who ain't got nothing? Boom, put all these people in that facility right there. This whole like 10,000 people. Get like 10 of them. Get 10 facilities. Boom, bam, all y'all just cramp in for a few. We're gonna keep on doing this until we got more space. But y'all got somewhere to sleep. You all got a bed. Boom, bam, y'all got food. Boom. Y'all put in another $1 off of $1. Nigga, y'all gonna become instant 100,000 ass. Boom. Quite sure y'all got more than $1. Everywhere in your city, you need to unite with your brother. Get all of them. You got 500 people right there. Y'all put in $1. Boom, that's $500 right there. Easy. No problem. Put in $1. What that 500 gonna do? 500 people. You can do a whole lot. You can do a whole lot if you come together. Where teamwork make the dream work. They know this. Uh, we could build up millions that we could build up for ourselves within a few years. Suppose one of you who are wealthy would spend your wealth to build up a better and more economic system among your own people. It would do much to aid our people. Do not put your wealth in the taverns and gambling houses and on race horses and other sports. Then you would not be so easy to push over when the day of want arrives. There is no need for us, millions through the country, spending our money for the joy and happiness of others. As a result, as soon as they throw us out of a job, we are back at as soon as a result, as soon as they throw us out of a job, we are back at their doors begging for bread and soup. How many clothing shops do we operate in the country? Very few. Yet all of us wear clothes. Who made our clothes for ourselves? Who made our clothes for us? Who sold them to us? We have thousands of grocery stores, but what about our naked bodies? Should we not have more stores to sell our people clothes? Should we not have our people? Should we not sell our people everything they want or need? But no, we give all the money out of our pockets to the slave master. We are satisfied in doing so. There are millions of us. We do not have enough factories to weave clothes for our people here in America. Think over that. Where is our shoe factory? Where are our cattle that we are skinning to make shoes for our people? These are small things, but we want equality with a nation that is doing these things. We boast that we should be recognized as equals. Let us make ourselves equal. We cannot be equal with the master until we own what the master owns. We cannot be equal with the master until we have freedom the master enjoys. We cannot be equal with the master until we have the education the master has. Then we could say, Master, recognize us as your equal. Today, you are begging the master, the slave masters, children, for what? You are begging them for a job. You are begging for complete recognition as their equals. Let us be honest with ourselves. According to history, we cannot find where the master made his slave equal until the slave made himself worthy of equality. I'm with you to go on top. We cannot go on top with weight that is hanging over us. We cannot charge the white man with all our faults. We are supposed to be, according to his own teachings, free. We are supposed to have been freed from him approximately 100 years ago. Have we exercised that freedom? We must answer that we have not availed ourselves of that freedom. If we have not availed ourselves of that freedom which he says he gave us, why should we think hard of him about the way he treats us? This may be a little hard to swallow. Our fathers, in the days they were set free by the slave master, had no knowledge of how to go for self. Today, you are educated. You claim that you have equal education. Then why don't you take a walk before we can uh before we can be justified in accusing the other man? Let us examine ourselves first. I I do not say that our fathers are the ones to blame for their ignorance, and neither are you. Neither they nor you are at fault. The root of the cause can be placed back into the laps of the slave masters when the slave masters say that we are free and continue to say that we are free. Should we not take a free step? We charge the slave master children with mistreating us. Suppose you tell a man that he is free, get out of our house and go into your own house. But the freed slave says, no, no, I'll work for you. I'll serve you as a servant if you want, if you will allow me to remain in your house. The man of that house tells you, I will not give you a new suit this year. I'm not, I will, I'll not pay you today for any work. Go home and sit down. Why shouldn't you say that man is not treating you right? Why should you say that man is not treating you right? Why say to that man, I have a job. I have to have a job the same as you. Has he not offered the door to you? If the slave master did not mean, if the slave master did not mean that you and I were free, we should have them admitted. You remain as a free slave to your slave master. You demand that he recognize you as his equal. You are making yourself look small in the eyes of the world. If every so-called Negro were fired, what would they do? Would you unite? Would you unite and go to Washington and demand that the government give you a job? You will be foolish enough to do that. If they beat you by the thousands, what right have you to say that he should not lash you? You have made yourself his slave. You have made yourself his slave. You are still called by the slave master's names, by rights, by international rights. You belong to the white man of America. He knows that. You have never gotten out of the shackles of slavery. You are still in them. You are still in authority. You are still in authority over your wife as long as she goes in your name, regardless of her separating herself from you. If she has not gotten a legal divorce and freed herself from your name, you are still in authority over her by law. Likewise, you are still under authority of the chains of your slave masters. You have not tried to free yourself from them. You have not exercised the freedom that they claim to have given you. Today is the day of decision. We have lived here more than 400 years. That, you know, according to the prophecy, is the prediction of our state among these people. That time has expired. The time is up. The decision is being made for your departure and mine. It is most important to Almighty God, whose proper name is Allah, that I speak to you according to the time that we are living in now. Today, you are standing face to face with the alternative of accepting your own, or forever being erased from the earth as a people. No one is trying to make you see this importance but your own. Why do you not see it? You are blindly looking toward the slave master to tell you this. How can the master tell the slave, look, slave, your day has arrived. You should sit in the seat of authority. We cannot beg for jobs anymore. We cannot build a future on a job that was given to us by a slave master 400 years ago. The day has arrived. The day has arrived. He has no more work for us to do. He is not willing to tell us that the time has arrived when deep within his own heart, he desires that you go out and find a job for yourself. He will forever be burdened. The burden will get greater and greater as long as he tries to carry you and me. It is time for a separation of the two, black and white. Allah, God is calling for a separation. Birth control plan, birth control death plan with the title, sir. I think I got some bread I'm gonna snack on, and I'm gonna post some more juice in this cup. I need you. Y'all bear with the kid. For a second, mom. Bear with me. One person locked in. What it do? What's up? Who do I got the pleasure that's locked in with the kid? Say something. Anyway, birth control, death plan with Tylerson. Birth control, death plan. To the lost found members of the tribe of Shabazz, the so-called Negroes, I warn you, my people, and especially the women, be aware of the tricks the devils are using to install the idea of a false birth control in their clinics and hospitals. Sterilization is not birth control, but the end of all possibility to bear children. The example of the clinic in Fauquier County, Virginia, where poor and helpless black mothers are pressured into accepting sterilization, is certainly not confined to that clinic alone. It will be better to do as many African and Asian husbands and wives have done, to take care of matters yourselves rather than rely on such treachery and deceitful counsel. I say beware of being trapped into the kind of disgraceful birth control laws now aimed almost exclusively at poor, helpless black peoples who have no one to rely on. Who wants a sterile life? Who wants a sterile woman? Question mark. No man wants a non-productive woman. Though he may not want children for a time, he does not want a woman who can, though he may not want children for a time, he does want a woman who can produce a child if he changes his mind. Using birth control for a special purpose, using birth control for a social purpose is a sin. Using the birth control law against production of human beings is a sin that Allah, God, is against, and for which he will punish the guilty on the day of judgment. Both the Bible and the Holy Quran's teachings are against birth control. So you and I too should be against it. The white race is a race that was produced by using the birth control law, says God to me. Do not accept this death plan by the devils to destroy and keeping this and keeping and keep from being a people. There is no people on earth, even the little savage pilgrim, Pygime. Even the little savage, uh, this is a hard word to pronounce. Plied, pledgement of Africa and the Malaysian Islands and the Malayan Islands of the Pacific love their own. Who will let anyone change or destroy their identity and culture without a fight? The the American black women are ignorant of the real motive behind the so-called birth control schemes proposed and demanded by white officials. The motive behind these schemes is not designed to promote the welfare of black families, but to eliminate these families in the future. Our enemies, the devils, know and now seek to prevent us from being a nation through our women, as Pharaoh attempted to destroy Israel by killing off the male babies of Israel at birth. The thousand years before Moses, Yaqub killed off the black babies at birth to produce this present white race. Pharaoh was envious of Israel's future of becoming a great nation, beloved of Allah, which would overcome Egypt and her future as a world power. The same goes for the so-called Negroes and the slave master's children. The slave masters envy their once slaves' future and want to destroy it. So the best thing to do is to tell you the truth, whether you care for it or not. I will feel then that I have done my duty as a member of the same nation as you. My love for you and your future is the same as that for myself. The life of this world and its sport and play is only temporary. Amen. All right. All right. Let me see if this one. But anyway, I like that. Time will fly by. It's good to keep on learning, do all that much as you can. Plan to destroy our race is what the title says. Plan to destroy our race is what the title says. The American so-called Negro. The American so-called Negroes are gravely deceived by the slave master's teachings of God and the true religion of God. They do not know that they are deceived and earnestly believe they are right, regardless of how vile the white race may be. My poor people are mentally blind, deaf, and dumb, and full of fear. Blind because they do not see the light of truth after being shown it for over 30 years. Deaf because they will not hear the truth. Islam that has come to them from Allah through the messenger, myself. That's what he got in quotation marks. They are dumb because they will not see or open their ears and hearts after the light has shone clear for many years. You are full of the fear that was instilled in you when you were babies. So Allah told, this fear was put in you by the white slave masters through tortures. lynchings, burnings, rapings, and killings, and has caused you to be blind, deaf, and dumb. This fear of the white slave master has caused you to love them in a crazy kind of way. You, my dear people, are like a woman desperately in love with a man who does not love her. Therefore, this love is blind. This man can beat, torture, ravage, humiliate, shame, and mock, but she will yet love him. And even when someone tries to tell her that this man is no good for her and certainly does not love her, she will yet love him and will become angry and defend such a man. This is a very sad thing, but a very true picture of the so-called Negroes. They love their tormentors. Beware, they do not love you. They are like dogs with a bone. They do not want you to be taken by Allah's messenger to your salvation. They want to carry you with them to their doom. The wicked white devils are by no means asleep to the knowledge of the time. They are really on the job trying to keep all of those who are blind, deaf, and dumb to what is going on in this day and time mentally dead. They watch every step of the righteous Muslims, seeking to do them harm in their endeavor to spread the truth, Islam. The people of Allah, so-called Negroes, are dumb to the time as the people were in the days when Moses was sent to Pharaoh to bring his people out of bondage into a land wherein they could enjoy independence. Instead of the Israelites being joyful to hear that Allah was ready to deliver them from Pharaoh and give them land of their own, they set out to contend with Moses and to help Pharaoh, not God, Jehovah. The government of Pharaoh had no love for Israel, just as America has no love for the so-called Negroes. Pharaoh became afraid of the truth that Moses was teaching his people in the midst of his country. So Pharaoh began to plan the death of Moses and the future of Israel by killing off the babies. Pharaoh wanted Moses put to death because he was teaching his people the truth of Pharaoh and his government of wickedness. Today, America is afraid of the power our great number presents. She fears that if we ever unite, we would overnight become independent. I told y'all, listen to me very, very good. It's 50 states in America. And within the state, how many cities there are, I don't know. I'm in a city called Lynchburg. All right, there's many cities. In the city, I'm quite sure it's over 2 or 3, maybe 500,000 people. You hear me? Let's say it's 1 million people. If all of us put in $1, we instantly millionaires. Let's say it's 2 million people in a city, and all of us put in $1, we are instantly millionaires. It's 50 states, and within those states, it's a lot of cities. Blackman, if all of y'all was to unite and put in $1, you would. All you need is one person who you could trust that's not gonna do dumb stuff for money. He ain't gonna buy drugs or try to trap. No, he got his mind on straight. He thinking he know how to organize and put things that need to be placed. If you got 1 million people, and all of y'all put in $1, it is people on the street who are homeless who got $1, my boy. All y'all instantly are millionaires. You hear me? But you gotta be as one though. You hear me? This can easily be done overnight. Y'all can become millionaires overnight. Forget going to buy the lottery. Y'all going to buy a lottery. You need to get one. Listen, y'all going to buy a lottery. If you got 1 million people in the city, if you got 1 million people in your city, and all y'all put in $1, you are instantly millionaires, nigga. You ain't gotta steal. You ain't gotta kill. You ain't gotta trap, hustle, or go to work no more, nigga. False for these people. If all of y'all put in $1, you are instantly Millionaires, all you need is one person who's not gonna do dumb stuff and try to take the money and do dumb stuff. I'm sure y'all can find somebody you can trust. One person. Say you got 100,000 people who homeless. Boom, we're gonna buy 10 facilities that's gonna put 100,000 people in each one of them. Now we got 1,000,000 people that's not homeless. We can do this. We can keep on doing this crap. You got, let's say you got 2,000,000 people. All y'all put in $8. You are instantly millionaires. Go to the bank, put the 2,000,000 in the bank, get a loan, pull that 2,000,000 right back out. Now you got a loan for 2,000,000, and you got 2,000,000 in the bank that can't be lost or taken away. My boy, you can keep on doing this and keep on doing this and keep on. How you think the rich stay richer? There will never be a homeless person ever again if we come together. All we gotta do is come together. My boy, y'all ain't got one person that y'all can trust. Just one person who not gonna do dumb stuff with the money and run off and do nothing dumb. Just one person. You got one person, black man, that you can trust in your city. Put that man in charge. Go door to door, get all your black brothers and sisters, and y'all put in $1. You are instantly millionaires overnight, my boy. Now what problem you got? What y'all talking about bills in the house? That's a small problem. We gonna don't worry about it. We're gonna get a facility. We all gonna come together in the facility. It's big enough and plenty of space. We're gonna back it out for a little bit. We're gonna work on building ourselves up for a while. We don't keep on giving the money right back to the people. We're gonna buy the facility. We're gonna chill for a while. Let's come together, chill for a while. We're gonna have plenty of space. There's enough space for you and your family to be over here. Know what I mean? Plenty of land. You know what I mean? On that land, we keep putting houses on the land. We can buy 100 acres. Each build a house on the damn. We got plenty of space, my boy. We gotta keep giving the money back. Now, while we occupy building and doing this and doing that, we still come together. We ain't giving the money back out. We gonna keep on drawing resources from even more in, Bro, we can flip things overnight. Get rid of all the dope. We don't need nothing around that's gonna cause us to get locked up or go to jail. We gotta be here. You can't do nothing locked up. Get rid of all the dope, everything that's gonna cause you to get locked up and go to jail. Alright? Anything that got to do with anything that the police will come and lock you up with, get rid of. Because we don't need nothing around that's gonna hinder us. We don't need to get nobody the excuse to get locked up, alright? Get rid of all that bull crap. We got focus on coming together and putting the chains on. Alright? Ain't nothing wrong with chilling, you wanna chill. I'm talking about get rid of stuff that's gonna get you locked up. Alright? We need y'all here to focus. Overnight though, you can become millionaires, my boy. You got 1,000,000 people putting in $1. All y'all are millionaires. So you got 1,000,000 people who millionaires. All together as one. Nigga, keep on doing. We became millionaires overnight. Word. Whatever needs to be channeled, no arguing, no fighting, no this or that. Listen, we're gonna get facilities that's gonna fit a whole bunch of people, bro. Yeah, I'm telling you, do a lot of big things, a lot of land. Word. And we gotta get a whole bunch of facilities. We'll find a way to break it down. But we ain't gonna keep on giving the money back to the people. Alright. Alright, as far as rent, individual. Now we can keep being that individual crap, because they can, a house divided against itself can stand. Nigga, we all gotta be together. Because they can keep on trying to break us down with this rent individual crap. While we worried about rent, man, forget the rent, all this other crap. We're gonna come together and put all in one. We're gonna keep on doing this crap. You know what I mean? We're keep giving it back now. We giving way back more than this and that. Y'all got plenty of space. I'm solo. About 30 other people could be over here with the kids. Word. You know what I mean? For plenty of space. When you, even if you is the rent in the home, y'all got plenty of space in the home. You got a crib. How many space you got in your crib? I'm solo. I can have about 30 miles over here. About 2 or 3 people could get right here. 2 or 3 people more. This and that. Spot right there. I'm just saying, bro. You know what I mean? Mars ain't getting old. No, I ain't talking about no getting old type of crap. I'm just saying, bro. One thing about it, people who stick together, they know what I'm talking about. Then you can save change. And then you ain't no longer being ate up individually. Easy to save change, nigga. You ain't no longer being ate up individually. If I got 10, 15 people living in the crib with me, nigga, rent only a band. We all working, got all stuff coming in. Word, I make probably like 6 bands a month, this and that, something slight. We all making over 6 bands. I got about 10, 15 people making over 6 bands. You do the math. I do the math for you, nigga. Since a lot of y'all ain't too good with math, I'll do the math for you. Let's say you got 10 people, all making 6 bands. It should be like 60,000. 10 people times 6. That's 60,000 y'all making a month. Between all 10 of y'all. If all y'all making over 6 bands, which ain't that hard, we can take it down. We can take it to 4 bands. 4 bands a month. That's very common for a whole bunch of y'all. For a band a week. Make a band a week, right? There's 10 of y'all times 4. That's still 40,000. That's 40,000 a month between 10 of y'all. Just work. Now, if all y'all together, one paying the rent, now y'all got extra. You got nigga rent on like nigga. You got some change, nigga. Think. Y'all ain't thinking though. They don't put it to y'all to think like that, is it? Nah. That's how y'all to think though. That's how it ought to be. It ain't like that though. The government of Pharaoh had no love for Israel, just as America has no love for the so-called Negroes. Pharaoh became afraid of the truth that Moses was teaching his people. Pharaoh became afraid of the truth that Moses was teaching his people in the midst of his country. So Pharaoh began to plan the death of Moses and the future of Israel by killing off the babies. Pharaoh wanted Moses put to death because he was teaching his people the truth of Pharaoh and his government of wickedness. Today, America is afraid of the power of our great number presents. She fears that if we ever unite, we would overnight become independent. America desires to keep us a subjected people, so she therefore wants to stop our birth as Pharaoh did. The birth control law or act of today is directly at the so-called Negroes and not at the American whites. The story of Moses and the Pharaoh is a warning to you today. They are seeking to destroy our race by the birth control law, just as Pharaoh sought to stop Moses' race by killing off all the male babies at birth. They are seeking to destroy our race through our women. They are seeking to destroy our race through our women. Do not let them trick you. Follow me, and we will, with the help of Allah, stop this most wicked sin against our people. What is Islam? What the title said. What is Islam? Is what the title said. I lost my time here. I got lost. Anyway, what was I gonna do? I think I had some corn or something I was gonna snack on. Got some apples right here. I could munch on them. Corn or the apples? I got the apples right here, so it don't take a whole lot. You know what I mean? Try to get right, man. We're gonna try to get right. Try to at least try. I like to read though. The read is very, very excellent. Everything you need is somewhere in the book. Many people just don't be reading like that. But everything you need is somewhere in the book. Listen, y'all use wisdom and knowledge the days we living in. Don't give the people a reason to use ignorance of it. If you don't do nothing dumb, people can't really say nothing. Just stop doing dumb stuff. Word. I mean, that's why I got a smoking problem. If I don't smoke at work, can't nobody say nothing. Word, you can't say nothing. I ain't smoking at work, nigga. You can't say nothing to me. Word, you know what I mean? Can't nobody say nothing. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say, but if it ain't based on facts, I'm not smoking at work or none of this crap, bro. So give a damn what you say. I ain't doing nothing on here. I ain't give nobody a reason to say that they're dumb. Unless you just want to be dumb, then that's on you. And you just want, you looking for it. That's different. I ain't got to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's different. What it do though? It's a good book though. It's a good book. How to eat, bro. Man don't live on bread alone. But every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord, well, I got the word right there. You gotta put a little extra with it. Just this and that. And go with it. Go with it, my boy. They go with it. Believe it. Alright. This is wide open. Let me throw this away real quick and wash my hands with it. Alright. Let's see. Now, they would've did that. Wash my hands. I'm back. Y'all who tuning in, you still there? You rocking with me? We going live. Let me know when we got action. As soon as we got action, we back at it. Heat these hands up and get the rest of the moisture out of them. I mean, they gotta work. Gotta put that juice on it. You know what I mean? It ain't start up yet. Back here. Put that juice on it. Islam. I'm gonna say that for the month. I don't wanna overload y'all. Cause it's a brand new chapter. Like it's mad pages, but the way he break it down, it's like 6 different chapters, 10 different chapters within the chapter, but it's like this new junk with his Islam. I guess I can pick back up on that tomorrow. I want to like blow y'all, but you had us wait for us to wash your hands just to get off. I wouldn't look at it that way, but it might be that way. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with the kid. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to give y'all what I got with the honorable Elijah, with the honorable Elijah in my head. You know what I mean? Any amount of time. Between the work and this and that, bro. Like, kid be tired. I might jump back on. I might jump back on later on or something. I don't know. At nighttime or something. But I don't know. That talking to catch up with you. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate y'all. See what's going on. Y'all take y'all time. Y'all be blessed. Keep on learning, growing. If you ain't hit that like button, that share or subscribe button, I advise you to do it by now. You should have did it a long time ago. You should have did it a long time ago. You know what I mean? But alright. It's alright. We're gonna be alright. And know this. Anybody who repent, accept the Lord, renounce their sins will be saved. Black, white, Asian, Chinese, Korean, Latino. You know what I mean? It's not a hate thing when you're speaking in truth. It's a facts thing. Nothing wrong with pointing out facts. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad even talks about this. And you know what I mean? You speak a lot about like some of my white brothers, but he ain't talking about like the ones who saved. He talking about the facts of the ones who was evil and wicked as hell, who started a whole bunch of bullcrap. That's a fact. That's a history. That's in history. That's in your history books, my history books. I wouldn't know if it wasn't left in history. 400 years and a whole bunch of stuff left and wrote down. Like they put it in the book, bro. We wouldn't know it. They put it in the book. Like word. I mean, his word. They put it in a book. It's in history. Like what they did. You know what I mean? Now some of y'all do stuff and you don't say nothing about it. They put it in the book. Word. You know what I mean? Word. You talking about leaving a trail? Word. They left a huge trail of everything that they did. You know what I mean? But anyway, and the ones who don't got nothing to do with that, you ain't of that group. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, like you gotta step away from that group and let that be known. You know what I mean? Cause otherwise, you birds of a feather flock together. You know what I mean? It look like you from that group. You know what I mean? It's some black people who I don't fully, I'm not with. It's some evil, wicked people out here. You know what I mean? And it's not that they evil by, it's not that they evil, it's not the fact that they evil by nature. Nah, they the people of God by nature, but by circumstance and choice and environment, they acting like the people of Satan. And when you acting like the devil, and moving like the devil, then that is what you is. And we ain't cool. Word. Want no parts of you. You know what I mean? But word. But on that note, I'm gonna get off here. I ain't gonna overload y'all system. But page stopping at 68. Yeah. Y'all be blessed, my brothers, my sisters, and I'll catch y'all again. Hopefully, amen. Peace.